LiveToLearnUSA, where I'm building a community of people just like you, dedicated to personal development and financial success. My name is Doug Montezella, and today I want to share with you the foolproof way to become a millionaire. How does that sound? It is insanely easy and the path is strictly clear. And I'm going to walk you through exactly how to do that. So it revolves around the 401k. So if you're unfamiliar with this, I have a detailed video I'll link right here, and it really goes through the details of the 401k, IRA, things like that, what tools are available to you. But this demonstration utilizes the 401k. What is that? Again, at a high level, that's a company-sponsored retirement account. It's simply a benefit that companies offer to their employees to attract talent. So the IRS has set that contribution limit at $19,000. And one thing that I've heard some people talk about is, does that include the company match? And it does not. That is strictly the amount of money that comes out of your paycheck and goes into these investments. So all these 401ks look very similar. There's buckets of money that you can possibly invest in, right? There's common assets, something usually very low risk, low return. There's maybe like an international equity units where it essentially giving you the performance of a certain region of the world. And there's usually always something that tracks similarly to the S&P 500. You'll have to read through your investment options in detail. All the 401ks have that, but look for the one that tracks similar to the S&P 500. Why is this so powerful? Because you don't have to pick the winners. This 401k, you're investing for the long term, right? It's 30 to 40 years time, and you don't need to worry about picking winners. That's why I like focusing on the 401k versus a traditional, maybe after-tax account, because there's tax incentives here that you can harness to help build that nest egg over time. So you don't need to pick. You're naturally diversified, right? That's the 500 largest companies in America. Every year they assess who that is. Some companies drop off, other ones get added in. So you're always looking at the best performers in the country. This portfolio has been around for over 130 years, right? There's a ton of track record of how America performs. And that's 9.8%. So over the last 130 years, that stock has seen 9.8% returns, that index fund, excuse me. So that is a very high return, right? You might say, oh, there's been massive stock market dips, right? The stock market crashes, but those have always been followed by massive rises in the stock market. So you average all that out over the last 130 years, that's your return. So for the purposes of this demonstration, I'm gonna assume that the S&P 500 gives you a 10% return, just for simplicity. So what does that mean? If I get 10% return on my money, what does that mean for my investments? So I have a demonstration here to show you how quickly your money will double based on that return. So year zero, right? Let's say you have $100 in there, and you could see every single year with compound interest, right? That's strictly now your 110 is making interest, 121, your interest is making returns, right? Year over year. So after that $100 invested in that S&P 500, you're going to essentially double your money right around that 7-year mark. So that's going to become very important later on when we show you, okay, how does my money build over time? But 7 years, your money is going to double, right around there. So what does this mean for you? So I want to break down really when you invest. If you are really disciplined in your early 20s or early 30s, you can run these numbers for yourself and see what is it going to take me to do this. So let's say you are extremely financially responsible, right? You started a new job and you said, okay, I'm going to do whatever it takes to hit this max here, right? Some of us, it might be more difficult than others, but you'd have to make maybe more lifestyle adjustments. But let's just take a look at what this does. So age 23 to 27, let's say you decided, hey, I'm going to grind these 5 years here and I'm going to max out my 401k. So year one, you'd have 19,000. And again, this is going to be a conservative estimate because every year I'm assuming that 19,000 of new funds added does not make interest. Just the previous year's balance makes that 10%. So after 27, you're going to have $116,000 in your bank, in your 401k account, right? You can't touch it till 59.5, but Now, let's see what that looks like. If you didn't invest another dollar, what would you walk away with 59 when you're ready to retire? So, here's at age 27 when you theoretically stop, but I don't suggest stopping. But 59 is when you're ready to retire. So that means your money is sitting, working for you for 32 years, right? Because of what we just showed here, every 7 years of those 32, your money's gonna double. So based on this, your money's gonna double 4.5 times from the age of 27. Because you were financially responsible, you knew the importance of compound interest, you harnessed the power of the S&P 500, let's take a look at what your returns are. After 7 years, that 116,000 is now 232,000. After another 7, 464. After another 7 years, 928,000. After another 7, you're at 1.86 million, and then again at that half mark, you're gonna be at $2.8 million. Multi-millionaire, crazy. And you stopped investing. And again, I don't suggest that, but I wanna make the point of how this is the most important asset you have when it comes to compounding your money. And that's time, that's years. So that in combination with being financially responsible when you're young sets you up for massive money in the future, right? You're working your younger years, right? You wanna be able to enjoy your retirement and be able to do the things that you want. So hopefully this made it clear on how much power you have to guarantee yourself to become a multimillionaire when you retire. And it comes from setting yourself up properly in your early 20s and 30s. Again, this is not to say if you're 23 and 27 and didn't start that way, it doesn't matter, right? You can still do this same calculation for whatever year you have and then look at the returns, right? Because you know what the S&P 500 makes, you know it's gonna take you 7 years to double your money. You can do those calculations. So understand what your milestone is and see what it would take to get there. But hopefully you're excited about this. It makes socking away money in your 401k a little bit less annoying. So thanks for tuning in to Live to Learn USA. I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts on this, comments on this video below. Thanks for listening. Take care.